Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm going to let some people come in. It's going to be a short live today because it was a short hearing. It was just a scheduling hearing. Nothing happened. I've got like 3 sentences worth of notes or something. That's it. Nothing happened. So I'll give it a minute for people to come on, but there's not a whole lot of new stuff to talk about today. So, like I said, it does need to be fast just because I do need to get back home and not in Manassas this afternoon. And, but, you know, I'm still happy to answer questions or things like that. It is a rainy, dreary day. I hope if any of you are watching from like Florida or anywhere that's been affected by the hurricane, I hope you guys are all doing okay. I hope your property's safe. My parents, my dad and my stepmom live in Florida and on the river, so they had to get out of there. And they won't know until they get back tomorrow how their house did. Good. I'm glad you made it out okay. Ooh, Amsterdam. I spent 18 hours in Amsterdam last year. It was great. I went to the Picasso Museum. Okay, so really what happened today was a lot of nothing. So it was not the actual Franks hearing. It was a hearing to schedule the Franks hearing. Court is over for today. The issue with the American judicial system is that a lot of these, it's like, this meeting could have been an email kind of thing. Everybody gathered just to set a date. So the Franks hearing is going to be on October 10th. We don't have a time for it yet, but October 10th is when we are going to have the Franks hearing. So that was the big thing. It was Judge Kimberly Irving presiding. She was the judge from the audio sounds off. I don't know. Let me, you know what? Yeah, hold on. Let me, you know what? Yeah, hold on. Let me, you know what? Yeah, hold on. 1 second. Okay, hopefully that helps the audio. I forgot to I turned off my car stereo, but I forgot to turn off the Bluetooth. So we should be good. Is the speaker blocked by something? I don't know. Let me try to lift it up. Is that better at all? Better? Okay, good. Okay, cool. So the Franks hearing is going to be on October 10th. Judge Kimberly Irving was presiding. That is the judge who presided over the last bond hearing. I'm sorry, we do have a time. It's in my notes. It's October 10th at 1 p.m. is going to be the Franks hearing. Then the only issue that they spoke about really was the lack of interpreters. So we learned in a previous hearing that there are actually only 2 certified Nepali interpreters, and they're handling the entire Northern Virginia area. They're handling all of the hearings and trials. And so it's been the same interpreter for every single hearing. And apparently there's a rule, I don't know if it's like a rule, but like interpreters are supposed to get a break every 30 minutes because interpreting is, it's an intense job and they want them to have regular breaks so that they can ensure that everything that they're interpreting to their, to the client is accurate. And it's just been this one poor guy. And, in a situation like today where we had like an 8-minute hearing, it wasn't a big deal. But, that bond hearing was almost 3 hours long and he didn't have a single break. So the issue is like the next nearest group of Nepali interpreters are like in North Carolina or something. So Naresh's attorney is really worried about the trial and having, like, he wants to have 3 interpreters, so they're kind of constantly cycling in and out, so that we don't have to take breaks, because that's the thing that the judge said. She's like, well, if we can't get other interpreters, like, we'll just take breaks in the hearing. And, you know, it's one thing if it's a hearing, but, like, when you're talking about a 6-day trial, that's really going to affect the timeline. So that's going to make it really tough. So they're working on that, but honestly, that was really it. Mr. Sweet, the Commonwealth's attorney, is going to file a written response to the motion for the Franks hearing on Tuesday. So I'll make sure that I get that for you guys. And so we'll know exactly what he's saying prior to the actual hearing on October 10th. Oh, thank you. Is it Dania? Thank you. So, yeah, that's really it. Frank's hearing October 10th at 1 o'clock, and we can expect the Commonwealth's response to the motion on Tuesday. So that is the update, and we're working on getting more interpreters. So if you guys have any, like, general questions, I'm happy to answer them. But like I said, it's just going to be a short live today. The trial is starting on December 9th. Did they find Mamta? No, Mamta has not been found yet. Nothing really happened today. The Franks hearing is scheduled for October 10th. And but prior to that, the prosecution is going to file a written response to the defense's motion for the Franks hearing on this coming up Tuesday. So what would that be? The 1st? Is that October 1st, Tuesday? No, I'm not. I turned my Bluetooth off. I thought it fixed the audio. Thank you, Luna. So the next step is nothing really. We're just kind of waiting. The next step is the prosecution is, thank you, Kamari, is going to submit their written response to the Franks motion. What I'm saying is not syncing. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe if I get out. What I'm saying is not syncing. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Maybe if I get out of it and did that help at all? Was it better? Do I see them filing more charges before then? No, I don't. I don't see any reason for them to, really. Like, he's in jail. He's not getting out of jail. He's been denied bond twice. So there's no reason for them to really charge him now. They might as well just wait and build up their case when they're not on a speedy trial clock. Thank you, Sunita. Do I think he will ever confess? No, I don't. Let me back up on that. I do not think he'll confess to this charge at all. I think that if and when he's convicted on concealing a dead body and he is then charged with homicide, I think there is a chance that he will confess as part of a plea deal in hopes of getting a slightly lighter sentence. And when I say confess with air quotes, it's because these guys lied. Like, they don't know how to tell the truth. So I think that he'll confess, tell some version of the truth, find a way to blame it on Mamta, find a way to make him look minimally culpable. And then that'll be it. No, he is allowed to request bond again, and that was in the bond order, that he is allowed to appeal bond one more time. But Mr. Ben Alverham has not given any indication that he plans to do so. And given the weight of the evidence that the Commonwealth had at the last bond hearing, I mean, I don't know why he would. Especially because this isn't so... So if you look at if any of you followed the case of Corey Bigsby, he was recently convicted of killing his son Cody down in like the Newport News area, and Hampton, and he ended up having like 6 or 7 bond hearings, but he was held in jail on like multiple different charges and for over a year. Like, it was a long process that he was held in jail. We're not going to see that in this case. This entire case is going to be wrapped up in December. In mid-December, he was arrested on August 22nd. So he's looking at a maximum of 4 months, being held pre-trial. So I don't know what the point would be of doing another bond appeal at this point. So no. Today was not a bond hearing. He was not granted bond. He is still in jail. He is remaining in jail until his trial starts in December. Did they ever find out if he had a girlfriend in Nepal? Maybe. It hasn't been brought up in court yet, but we do know that the Commonwealth has like basically all of his electronic data, and he wasn't good at hiding things. So if he did have a girlfriend in Nepal, I'm sure it'll come out at trial. Well, yes, I will upload this video to my YouTube later. And we're ATTWG Pod on like every social media platform, so you can always find us there. When do they go for felony 1? I think after this case plays out. I think they're going to go for it probably once they get the conviction here. That would be my guess. They might do it sooner, but like I said, we saw how fast this went to trial. They don't want something similar to happen with a homicide charge. So I think they're going to wait to charge him as long as possible so that they don't start that speedy trial clock. Will the trial be recorded? Not to my knowledge. As far as I know, Prince William County doesn't allow that anymore. Yep, court's done already. We were in there for like 8 minutes. This is the extent of my notes. Not a lot happened. Would Commonwealth agree to a plea deal? He doesn't deserve a plea deal. A lot of times they will. I would see them probably offering it just to save the Commonwealth time and money, unfortunately. But we don't know. He hasn't even been charged with a homicide, so, speculating on a plea deal is obviously a little premature. Thank you, Monica and Alpha King. All right, what else we got? Can I please go over the notes? The notes are, it was Judge Kimberly Irving presiding. She's the judge who presided over the bond hearing. The Commonwealth wants to file a written response to the motion for a Franks versus Delaware hearing. He's going to do so on Tuesday. And the Franks hearing is set for October 10th at 1 p.m. So as of now, October 10th is the next time we're going to be back in court for this, but with the amount of motions that, have been filed, I wouldn't be surprised if we're in next week for some reason. But as of now, October 10th is the next date. What is Franks? I have a whole video. I have 2 videos actually talking about this. So in one video in the playlist, you can go to the playlist on my account, the Mom to Coughley playlist. I have one video talking about what a Franks motion is, what a Franks versus Delaware hearing is. And then I have a video that I did yesterday about that goes over the actual motion that was filed by the defense. So basically they're trying to get the arrest warrant thrown out because Detective Ventura included false information about evidence that the body was dragged outside of the house on her application for the arrest warrant. Yes, he was there. He, came in, again, ankle shackles. He's definitely lost a lot of weight. And, I swear, I feel like he's getting weekly haircuts in prison. Did they get the warrant thrown out? No. We're not having the actual hearing until October 10th, and that's when we'll find out if the arrest warrant gets thrown out or not. I don't think it will. The trial will not be recorded for the public to watch, to my knowledge. So yeah, so October 10th is our next court date, the next hearing. As of right now, things change like every day in this case. So that's what we're expecting, that we'll be back here on October 10th for the Franks hearing, where the defense will try to get the arrest warrant thrown out based on the false information from Detective Ventura. So that is what happened today. We do not know if the investigators have found any more evidence. We haven't gotten any updates since the bond hearing. Does he look up or scan through and still? No, he never really does. Like, he pointedly avoids looking at all of us in the gallery. And because today was just a scheduling hearing, it wasn't as many people as usual, but more people than I thought still showed up. So, you know, he definitely had people staring daggers into the back of his head, but he never looks at us. No, he didn't talk. He never talks. The only time he's ever spoken in court is when the judges asked him if he understands his rights or if he understands, you know, X, Y, or Z, and he says yes. That's the only time he's ever spoken. Is it possible for that to be thrown out? It's possible. I mean, they wouldn't allow a hearing if it wasn't possible, but I don't think it will be. And I think it's mainly, for the same reason that he's been denied bond twice. Like, the Commonwealth has a lot of evidence against him. So it's like, okay, basically he could be arrested on this charge without that statement. You know, if he were still free today, he could still be arrested without that statement. I agree. He is really weird. The only recap is that we are going to be in court on October 10th at 1 p.m. for the actual Franks hearing, and that is when the defense is going to try to get the arrest warrant thrown out. That is what happened today. Thank you. Yes, that's all that happened. Does court know about the Mandira woman? Yes, she's been speaking with investigators. So they know everything that she knows. And in the bond hearing, they brought up the incident that she talked about, where Mamta threw rice on Naresh's head and he slapped her in the face. The prosecution brought that up at the bond hearing. So they've been in contact with her. What's my occupation? My day job is a realtor serving Northern Virginia and the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia. And I'm also the host of a missing persons podcast that has been going since 2020 called And Then They Were Gone. And that is why I have my username, And Then They Were Gone. And ATTWG Pod is our handle on all the social media networks. And I live in Loudoun County, which is like the next county over from here. From Prince William County, where we are, and that is why I've gotten so involved in this case, because it's, you know, it started out as a missing persons case and it's local. So I will do a quick recap video after this, for those of you who missed it. Also, I will upload this live to YouTube. But yeah, like I said, I mean, not much happened, so I don't want to just like go over it a million times. Do we know if the real estate inspector actually came to the house as he said in police body cam? I think so, because Mandira, speaking of Mandira, I think she had said something about that. I don't think it was like an inspector that came over, but like painters came over or somebody. So it does seem like that is one thing he was telling the truth about, that he was looking to sell the house prior to Mamta's disappearance. I'm lagging again. It might just be my service. I'm lagging again. It might just be my service. If I have very good service out here, cell service. How far do I live from court? Like 45 minutes. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks on the drive. Do I have any more information about his Baltimore trip? No, but I think the prosecution does. I think that between his Google data and the Tesla data, and the fact that the person he met in Baltimore came forward very, like, at the beginning of September, I think they've got a lot of information about the Baltimore trip and what he was doing there and why. But, you know, they're not going to release any of that until trial. Thank you, Jessica. All right, so again, I'll do a recap video. Our next hearing date, as of right now, is October 10th at 1 p.m. But that could change because these things change a lot in this case. All right, do we have any more questions? Because like I said, I do have to hop off kind of early today. Yeah, for sure, police have a lot of evidence. They're just keeping quiet. Yeah, because it doesn't benefit them to just put it all out there right now, you know. Same reason why we had the ex parte motion the other day. The defense didn't want their trial strategy getting out. Like, it doesn't benefit either side to put all of your cards on the table before you have to, and neither side has to yet. Discovery isn't due until October. I'll check the exact date, but yeah, so until then, it behooves both sides to kind of keep things close to the vest. The baby is with her grandmother and her uncle here in Prince William County, and they have an apartment now, and they're here for a while. You know, there's a lot legally and with CPS that needs to be worked out in terms of the baby's future, and a lot of it really also depends on whether or not Naresh is convicted of anything, because obviously if he's not convicted of anything, like, he still has parental rights. That's not to say I don't think that he'll be convicted of anything, because I obviously do, but nothing permanent can be decided yet with her. I think something escalated up that night or on his trip. I agree. I think and I said that last week. A lot of people were, like, offended by the fact that I said that the crime wasn't completely premeditated. I'm not trying to, like, let him off the hook or say that it was a crime of passion or anything like that, because I don't think it was. I think he had been planning it to an extent, but I don't think he planned to do it that day. I don't think that he had decided he was going to kill her on the night of July 30th. I think that happened because things did escalate, you know, potentially because of the Baltimore trip or things, you know, related to that. So I think that he was always going to do this. I think it was always kind of in the back of his mind. But I think if you look at the timeline, it wasn't super planned out, because, you know, based on the timeline, he killed her and then went to the store and tried to cover all this stuff up, and, you know, bought, like, knives and bought cleaning supplies and, like, tried to dispose of her phone. And, like, I think the timeline shows that he was really scrambling. So I don't think he's, like, some criminal mastermind or anything like this. Honestly, I think he's fucking stupid. Sorry, but I do. So, yeah. Yeah, him saying that she destroyed her phone, but it paying days later. Exactly. Like, if you're really planning out something like this, I don't think you'd make such a dumb mistake. He definitely didn't plan in advance. He just knew if she ever tried to leave him, he would. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something along those lines. I love that Father Best Henderson verses and all that. I actually don't even know. I try not to swear too much in my videos now. I don't know why. Like, I think because more people are watching them, I feel self-conscious about it. Back when, you know, I was only getting like 200 views or like 1,000 views or whatever, I was like swearing all the time, but I'm trying to be better. But sometimes it's like, you got to call a spade, and you got to call a fucking idiot. And, you know, that's just what he is. How's Naresh's facial expression? I didn't see him. I was sitting like directly behind him, so I didn't see his face too much. But he never looks back at the gallery. He was running out of time before the citizenship appointment. You know, I think you're right. And I think that was part of it because she did have her final appointment. I believe it was scheduled August 7th. And I think you're right. I think that he didn't want her to be able to have a life in America without him. You know, I think that in his mind, because they had been having marital problems for so long, that he had kind of built it up that she was like using him or taking advantage of him in some way. And I think that the citizenship process was a part of that. And to be clear, I think this is just stuff that he made up in his own head, but I think he believed it to be true. And he felt that he was being wronged and being taken advantage of. And so, yeah, I think that that appointment and her getting closer to having citizenship was a stressor. Yeah, he was threatening about her papers, green card into place. Yeah, and she wrote on one of those Facebook groups that her husband, or that like her green card was missing or whatever. And she didn't lose her green card. Like, come on. She was dependent on him until she was a citizen because he controlled everything. Yeah, I think that's true to an extent. And, you know, I don't know how all of this works. Like, I do know somebody who came here from Bosnia as a child and, you know, just got her citizenship when she was in her 30s. And, you know, had like went to school, had jobs, like did the whole thing for all of those years and was totally fine. But yeah, I don't know like what Momta's specific situation was in terms of like citizenship. I'd be an awesome attorney. Thank you. That was one of my like childhood dream jobs, but I don't know. I feel like the pressure's too much, like having people's actual lives in my hands. I don't know. The baby, as far as I know, is okay. She's, you know, as okay as she can be. I'm sure she's young. She doesn't know what's going on. But she is with family, and so that's good. Yep, I was at court today. I was just scheduling. Nothing big. Once a kid gets involved, it becomes really hard to leave. That's absolutely true. No matter what the other situations are, you know, citizen, not citizen, job, not no job. Like it's tough, especially when kids do become involved. Do I think they will find her? I really hope so. I really, really hope so. I wonder if he's confessed to his lawyer. No, absolutely not. He would never confess, I don't think, because why would he? And also, if he had confessed to his lawyer, then that would put his lawyer in a tough spot legally, and his lawyer would probably have to recuse himself from the case. On the case of Kona, I like that. So, I'm not a reporter. I used to do a little like local news work back in the day, but no, I have a podcast. I have a missing persons podcast, and I like doing that because I make all the editorial decisions and I don't have to be unbiased like you do when you're a reporter. You know, I try to be fair, but I do not try to be unbiased. No, his lawyer can't report it because if he confesses, because that's attorney-client privilege. But the lawyer also can't get up in court and say things that he knows to be untrue. So their defense so far has been that Mamta, ran away. And so if Naresh says, no, I killed her, then the entire defense goes out the window. So the only thing that his attorney would be able to do is remove himself from the case, and the court would have to appoint a new attorney. No, they do not encourage you to tell your lawyer if you did the crime for that very reason. Have the Naresh attorney filed against the Commonwealth saying the information is not true? Yeah, that's what this Franks hearing is going to be about on October 10th. They're trying to get the arrest warrant thrown out because Detective Ventura put a false statement on her application for the arrest warrant. So that's what's happening. The prosecution is going to respond to that request on Tuesday, pardon me, and then there's going to be a hearing on October 10th. Oh, thank you. You love my hair. Thanks. It is raining out here and it is frizzy and a mess right now. All right. No, he has not confessed. No, he did not get out. He is not eligible to get out. Like, he's not going anywhere until his trial, which doesn't start till December 9th. So he's standing in his little orange jumpsuit in jail. We don't know if they had the DNA report back yet or not. Do I travel a lot? Not as much as I would like, but yes, I do try to travel whenever I can. Do I feel as though it would get tossed out due to the false report? No, I don't. They've got so much other evidence beyond drag marks that may or may not have been there. What about his mom and dad? I don't know. They're in Nepal as far as I know. Do I think he's guilty? Yeah. I think he's extremely guilty. What mascara do I use? It's called Fan something. Honestly, I belong to Ipsy. If you've heard of that, it's like they send you like makeup samples, and this is just like the last mascara that they sent me. Is there any financial support from GoFundMe to mother and child? Yes. So there is the one GoFundMe that has like $250,000 in it that, is the majority of the money is being put into a trust for the baby to support her as she gets older, but a portion of that money has been taken out to be used to like help the Mamta's family now and to take care of the baby now. So like they have an apartment, that's how the apartment's getting paid for, things like that. What happens if they don't find the body till December? That would be unfortunate, just only because, her family deserves to be able to lay her to rest properly. But legally, it's not going to affect anything. I think they can absolutely still get a conviction on this charge and homicide without finding the body. Dear Lord, and Kristen, this is not directed at you because every single time I put a video or do a live, people ask me about Nadia. I don't care. She, to me, that's a completely separate issue from this. And it has nothing to do with the case. So I'm just not involved in any of it anymore. Yes. Mamta's mom is taking care of the baby. In terms of long-term plans for the baby, we just don't know. Thank you, Ray Shop. I really appreciate that. Do I think they will find the body? I sincerely hope so, but honestly, I get more concerned every day that they're not finding the body. I don't know. What else do we have? So I mean, I can't fathom where he would have put her. Based on what we learned at the bond hearing, it seems that the prosecution believes that she was placed in various dumpsters in several different counties. We don't know that to be true, though, because we don't know what was in the bags. We know that the bags that were recovered from the donation bin had blood on them, but they only had you know, a bath mat in there. So all of those bags could have just been filled with evidence. Like, she wasn't necessarily in any of them. So, like, we truly don't know where she is at this point. All right, what else do we have? How does Naresh look? Does he look scared? No, he's lost weight. But other than that, he's good at, like, being just straight, you know, like, emotionless. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate that. Yeah, they allowed the public inside the court. The public is allowed in all of the hearings except for ex parte hearings. And ex parte hearings aren't super common. So I wouldn't expect that we would see any more of those. That was the only hearing we haven't been allowed in. But every other hearing, the public is allowed to be there. It could have been bags of her clothes because he told the police. Oh God, it left. He told police she already took all her stuff in March. Yeah, I think that some of it, like, was clothes and other personal belongings. Why do you think he disposed of the mat in the donation box? That's unusual. I have no idea. Like, why? Why wouldn't he put that in a dumpster with all the rest of the stuff? Why wouldn't he burn it? Like, nothing that this guy did makes, like, a damn bit of sense. Do you think Walmart knives are sharp enough to cut a human body? No, I don't. And that's the thing. That's why, like, the knives don't really make a ton of sense to me because, I don't think that they're that sharp. And, like, cheap Walmart knives, just cooking dinner with them is tough enough. Like, I can't imagine doing something like that. So, I don't know. And they were bought after he dumped the bags. They were bought after he dumped some of the bags, but not all of the bags, I believe. I would have to go back and look at my notes, but I believe that he bought the knives on July 30th. Oh, hell. Now you're going to make me look. Hold on. Let me look. Okay, so, like, he first is on camera discarding bags in the dumpster at 6:44 a.m. on July 30th. God, that is really quickly after he got back from Baltimore. No, it wasn't. It was a day later because he returned at 12:29 a.m. on the 29th. So it was over 24 hours after he got back from Baltimore. All right, when did he go to Walmart? All right, so he went to Home Depot the morning of the 30th and bought the rubber gloves. Oh, and then he went from Home Depot straight to Walmart, it looks like, to buy the knives. So he bought the knives after, like, 2 hours after he got rid of the first couple of trash bags. We don't know the purpose of the Baltimore visit. The speculation is that he was having an affair, and he was visiting the woman there, but we won't know that until trial, what the actual purpose was. You know, at this point, he might as well come clean, making it worse for himself. He really isn't. Honestly, if I were his lawyer, I would tell him to just shut the hell up at this point. It's not, there's no benefit to him coming clean, honestly, at this point. I think he moved her multiple times. I think that's definitely a possibility. Wait, cadaver dogs. Hold on. Let me scroll back up. The cadaver dogs, when they hit, is it just that there was a dead body? Yes. The cadaver dogs can hit on a location where a dead body was. A dead body does not need to be present for cadaver dogs to hit. A dead body just has to have been there. And so that's what happened in the case of the dogs hitting on the master bedroom. Any chance of finding her in the landfill? I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, we don't know for sure that that's even where she is, that she was even in those bags. They have not found her. Why did he search her diagram on a brain? I don't know. Somebody had the theory, and I talked about this in the last live, that, maybe he had hit her in the head and he was trying to like figure out if she was going to recover, from that blow. I don't know. He might have bought the knife later to use to make small pieces, but probably she's already dead. Yeah, I think she was already dead, but like, I don't know. I mean, I assume they would have had like kitchen knives at home. I don't know. Like, he couldn't even spring for like better knives. He went to Walmart and bought a 3-pack. Yeah, they are searching in the garbage and in landfills. Yeah, and he did. He searched chicken farm near me. I don't know if police have any more information on that. If there are other searches related to that. We don't know anything about the chicken farms either. No, they didn't do a lie detector test on him. Yeah, assume he had those Nepali kukuri knives. Yeah, people have found photos from social media of the kukuri knife. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. At their house. So yeah, that I don't know if that was still at their house when police searched it. I don't know if that was taken into evidence. That has not been released. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. And that's why, like, it's so hard to talk about the actual murder. And honestly, that's why I did a missing persons podcast instead of like a regular true crime podcast, because I don't want to talk about these horrible things all day. You know what I mean? It's terrible. She was a person, a loving person who had a lot of people who cared very deeply for her. And it's horrible to talk about this. Do they have his Tesla data? Yepers, they sure do. And they definitely talked about that at the bond hearing. So that is where they got some of the footage of him doing things. Because there was one section where he left his phone, but they had him on camera. I don't know where that would be. Gloves. Let me see. I'm trying to find where I wrote down that they didn't, where he didn't have his phone. Yeah, I can't find it in my notes right now. But there was some point where he left his phone, and so they like got the information from the Tesla. I can't find it right now though. Did you look regretful? No. What will happen to his house if he's found guilty later? I would hope that he would try to sell it before then so that he can get some money out of it that would eventually then go to the baby. Although it might behoove him not to sell it because he's selfish, right? He's obviously completely selfish. So what a good person would do would be sell it now and try to, get the baby some money. But I think that because he has a public defender, if he was suddenly to come into some money, he might lose the ability to have a public defender. Then all that money would have to go to paying for a lawyer, so the baby wouldn't get it anyway. So I don't know. He's probably just going to let it just sit, so that he doesn't have to pay for an attorney. No, he didn't seem nervous. He's never seemed nervous. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He did seem nervous at points during the bond hearing, but not today. Shoot, it's already almost 1:30, you guys. All right, I gotta go. I need to get home for school pickup because, you know, I'm not true crime lady all the time. I'm mom a lot of the time too. So I've got to go home and do that. I did say what happened. And I will, this is going to be uploaded to YouTube, and I will make a recap video of what happened in court today later this afternoon for you as well. Can you sell a house while you're incarcerated? Yes, you absolutely can. You would just need to, either sign documents while in jail or designate a power of attorney to do it for you. But you can absolutely sell a house while you're incarcerated. No, he doesn't have eye contact with anybody except for his attorney. Okay, but I do have to go. All right, so I got to go do school pickup. All right, so thank you guys. I will be talking to you later. And as always, feel free to leave more questions in the comments on my video, and I will try to answer them. But also, if you're new, please go and look at the Mom to Coffee playlist. I have like 85 flippin' videos on that thing, so a lot of these questions I have addressed, and you can just go back and get your answers right now. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye.